morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning. I've got the dog barking and the airplanes going off outside. It's real life. In any case, thank you so much for coming back to Cat on Point. I'm glad to have you here. I wanted to share a quick thought with you. When we're trying to lose weight, if you're like me, you're pulling back on the amount of calories, and you're going to start feeling it. You don't want to have that hunger feeling, and so one of the things that's worked for me in the past is to have a 0 point soup, which I call a filler soup. So that way at lunchtime, which is normally my biggest meal, I will have either a salad, a wrap, or a sandwich or something like that. And I will pair it with this 0 point soup, and that has really worked really well for me in the past. This is a very savory soup recipe that I'm going to share with you. It's really easy to make, relatively simple, and really versatile. So you could be adding different things like rice and pasta or meat later if you want, or even from the get-go, but of course that'll increase your points. So you need to think about that. But it is so flavorful just as it is. I like to keep a big jar of it in the fridge, like a 2-quart jar, and then I just take it out little bits at a time. And so if I'm going to prepare it for the kids, I might add a little bit of orzo or pasta or some meat or something like that, and that just changes it up a little bit for them. But for me, I just really rely on it, the basic recipe, to just kind of give me a filler recipe, and that way I'm not hungry after lunch and I get another serving of veggies in. Okay guys, so without further ado, I'm going to share that recipe with you. I hope it helps. All right, this is a super low calorie soup. It's a veggie soup, and it happens to be a 0 point soup on Weight Watchers. So I got this out of the book Eat to Lose, Eat to Win by Rachel Beller, MSRDN. And there's a secret to making this really flavorful, and that is you take the mirepoix. I've got 3 celery, 3 carrots, 1 onion, and then a few garlic. I like a lot of garlic. And you actually cut them up small and then put them in the food processor, and then you really want to mince it in the food processor. So you're going to have a really small mirepoix, and then you're going to just kind of cook it in a couple of teaspoons of olive oil until it's tender, and then add a couple of cans of tomatoes. I've got smoked tomatoes, and or you can use the ones that are Italian seasoned. Those are really, really good. I'm going to take a 1.5 boxes of vegetable broth, and I'm going to add a little bit more later, but you're going to bring this to a boil, just this right here. Once it comes to a boil, you can already see it really looks pretty. Next, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and I've got 2 cut up zucchinis and 3 cups of cabbage that's cut up. If you don't have cabbage, you can use coleslaw, 1 can of drained green beans, and 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. And all of that is going to go in here. I don't think it's going to fit in there. I put it in a different pan so it'll fit. Now I'm adding in all of those extras I just showed you. And then I'm going to add in some more veggie broth, because obviously this, I need more liquid in here. I'm also adding in a can of rinsed and drained black beans, just because I love the way it looks. So I've added in another box of veggie broth, because I like my soup to be really soupy, and I don't like it to just go away the next day. Now, last time I made this, I added some orzo for the kids because they liked the orzo in it. You could add pasta, or you could just leave it this way if you want, or just add pasta or meat as you go along. Now, I also added a little bit of garlic powder and some iodized sea salt. Usually I just use sea salt, but I'm trying to cook with a little bit more of the iodized, just because I want to make sure that we get more iodine in our diet. I think since a lot of people switch to sea salt, they've been saying that there's a lot of people who are developing hypothyroidism. One of the reasons why is because they don't get enough iodine in their diet. I am also on iodine supplements because of my hypothyroidism. All right, so for lunch today, I am having my Caesar salad with chicken breast, 3 ounces of it. I've got a 1/2 ounce of this Parmesan cheese here that I weighed, and 1 tablespoon of the Ken's Light Creamy Caesar on here. It's really all you need. It's very strong, so it's pretty good, and it kind of disperses throughout the whole salad. And I have 2 of these Glossa crackers, the light rye, which are 2 for 1 point. And then on top of that, I'm going to have a bowl of my 0 point wonderful, fragrant, and tasty vegetable soup, and that is going to be my lunch. Then a little later, I needed a little snack. I had a couple of these pizzellis. These are really good because they're super low in sugar. They're really nice wafers. They taste like ice cream cones. And I've got a couple of tablespoons of PB Fit with some skinny syrup, and that's going to go in my sandwich here with some decaf. And here comes dinner. It's sweet and sour chicken. That is on the next video. I had an apple. I also had cauliflower rice mixed with a little bit of white rice. And then I dipped my apple in some PB Fit mixed with a little skinny syrup. That was great. And I had a low sugar decaf.